Every single one of us has been there. You do something, you say something, you post something, and almost instantly your mind starts wondering, what are they going to think? It's like this invisible audience pops up in your head even if they're not in the room, and suddenly, instead of living your life for you, you're living it for them. Hello, beautiful soul. This is one of the most freeing lessons I have ever learned, and I know once it lands for you, it's going to shift the way you move through everything. Because here's the truth, other people's opinions are not actually about you. It might sound strange at first, but hear me out. Every opinion someone has about you, whether it's praise, criticism, judgment, approval, that is filtered through their experiences, their beliefs, their fears. You are just the mirror they are looking into. When someone says, "I love that you're so confident," what they really mean is, "I value confidence and I wish I could express mine like that." When someone says, "I can't believe you would do that," what they really mean is, "That's not something I would feel safe doing." See how that's not actually about you? That's about their lens, their conditioning, their story. And when you start to see it that way, you stop taking it so personally. I'm not saying you'll never care what anyone thinks, because we're human. We are wired for connection, and feedback from others can help us grow. But there is a big difference between being open to feedback and letting someone else's opinion dictate how you show up in your own life. Here's the thing. If you live for other people's approval, you will also die from their criticism, because the same people who clap for you today could question you tomorrow. And if your sense of self is built on their reactions, you will always be chasing or shrinking or performing just to keep that approval coming. So what's the alternative? You anchor into your own values. You make choices that are aligned with your truth. You measure your success by how much it matches your standards, not by how many people agree with you. And the people that are meant for you, the ones who will support, respect, and truly see you, are going to do that whether or not they understand every single choice you make. You don't have to explain your whole soul just to be worthy of love or respect. And sure, that means some people will misunderstand you or judge you or talk about you, but that's not your business. What's actually your business is how you keep showing up for your own life anyway. If you've ever found yourself hesitating to post that photo or share that opinion or wear that outfit or take that leap because you're worried about what someone might think, here's your reminder. You don't need their permission to live your life. Most of the time, people's opinions are just projections. Projection is when someone takes their own feelings or beliefs or fears and places them on you, whether or not they are true for you. If someone thinks your dreams are too big, it's probably because they wouldn't feel safe going after something like that. If someone says, "You're changing," it could be because they are uncomfortable with change, not because your growth is wrong. When you are on the receiving end of someone else's opinion, remember, their lens is not your reality. That's why it's so important to build what I call an inner anchor, which is your values, your vision, your truth. It's what keeps you steady even when other people's opinions are present. If you keep chasing approval, you will end up feeling like you are never doing enough. It will have you constantly asking, do they like me? Did I make the right choice? Should I change this or that? And that's exhausting. So instead, the shift is this. Stop asking, do they approve? And start asking, does this feel right for me? This doesn't mean you stop caring about people or that you can't listen to feedback. It just means you are no longer giving away the power to decide your worth. When you stop living for their approval, you free yourself to live in a way that is more aligned with who you are. And ironically, that is when you start attracting people who respect you more, because they can feel that self-trust. Think about it. The people you admire the most are not the people who hold back to avoid judgment. They're the people that move with confidence, even when it's not the easiest choice. And you can be that person too. But it starts with letting go of controlling what other people think and focusing on how you feel about the way you're living. So, how do we actually do that? The first thing is to notice when it happens. Most of us don't even catch it. We just feel that little sting in our chest or that rush of heat in our face when someone says something, and before we know it, we are replaying their words over and over again in our heads. That moment right there, That is your cue. That is when you pause and ask yourself, do I actually believe what they just said? Sometimes we automatically take on what other people say as if they're facts. But most of the time they're not facts, they're opinions. And opinions belong to the person who said them, not to you. The second thing is to remember this. You can respect someone's perspective without adopting it. You can hear them out, nod, say thank you, and still decide that's not for me. This is where boundaries come in, not just physical or verbal boundaries, but mental boundaries, which means you decide what takes root in your mind. If someone compliments you, let it land. If someone criticizes you in a way that doesn't align with your truth, you can just let it pass through. You don't have to fight it, defend yourself, or prove them wrong. When you practice not reacting right away, you create space between their opinion and your self-worth. In that space, you get to decide what's true for you and what's not. Letting go of other people's opinions doesn't mean you walk around with an I don't care what people think about me energy. It's actually the opposite. When you're not constantly weighed down by what other people think, you have more energy to be more present or kind and connect. Because you are no longer performing, you are just being. Someone's opinion of you is a reflection of their perspective, not your potential. They're looking at you through the lens of their own experiences, fears, values, beliefs. It's not the full truth of who you are. It's just the version they are able to see from where they are standing. And when you realize that, you stop trying to be understood by everyone. And you start focus on understanding yourself. So instead of, I hope they like me, it becomes, do I like how I'm showing up right now? Instead of, what will they think? It's, what do I think? What feels true for me? That's when other people's opinions lose their power. Not because they stop having them, but because you stop letting them decide how you see yourself. You can't stop people from having opinions, but you don't have to carry them. When someone says something about you, pause and check in. Does this feel true for me? Or is this just their perspective showing? Most of the time, they're wrapped up in their own lives, their own struggles, their own insecurities. And not every comment needs a response. Silence is a decision too. The more you practice this, the more freeing it becomes. Because you realize you don't need to defend your every choice, explain yourself to everyone, or win every person over. Your energy is better spent living in alignment because the right people value you for who you are without you having to convince them. You deserve to take up space as you without having to filter every part of yourself through someone else's lens. So here's the reminder that you can respect people, you can listen to people, but you do not have to build your life around what they think of you. Because at the end of the day, their opinion is just that, theirs. It's not the truth of who you are. So the next time you catch yourself holding back or second guessing a decision because of what they might think, pause and ask yourself, is this my truth or is this me trying to manage theirs? If it's not your truth, let it go and come back to what is real for you. Because the people who are meant for you, the ones who matter, they will respect you more for showing up authentically than they ever would for playing it safe. Protect your energy, stand in your truth, and live in a way that when you look back, you know you chose your path, not the one someone else tried to hand you. If this message hit home for you, let me know in the comments what part you're taking with you. Hit the like button, subscribe to join our soul tribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next video in this series. And with all of that being said, let's rise together.